Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 555. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Carlos Romero.
Yo, 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 what's going on?
And Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, everybody?
All right, guys, just the three of us. That's all you get tonight. You know? So yeah, Chris, he has some work stuff, so he's exhausted, needed a break. Adam's probably at the TV terminal. You know, that's all he does now. He doesn't do anything else. He doesn't even go to work anymore. It's just TV terminal all day, every day. Brett is still off, and Manning's at New York Comic Con. Actually, specifically, he's at his uncle's right now. So you got us three, man. And Brian, I don't know where the fuck Brian is. Maybe they finally launched.
Savings.
They do it before us, right?
Yep.
It's probably daylight savings. So that means Brian will probably be here in an hour. They use every year.
Oh, it's not until 2 weeks from now.
Oh, okay, so be prepared for that. That always happens. What's going on in the chat? Tumeke. Yeah, happy Thursday. It's Friday for you though, man, in New Zealand. Wait, is it your birthday? If it's not your birthday, I'm gonna wish you a happy birthday anyway, bro. You know?
Adam, happy birthday.
He goes, Friday, bitches, almost beer clock. My man.
Excuse me?
Yeah, by the way, funny story, and we could riff off a little bit. It's just three of us. So I can't say exactly what I did today. But yo, because the New York Comic Con is happening, obviously, and there's a lot of like off-site events. That's what they call it. They're not at the actual Jacob Javits Center. Yo, usually there's like one or two max events before Comic Con. This year, in one day, 4. You know, so I had one at 9, another one at 12, another one at 4:30, and then one at 6. So your boy was busy. I got to play a lot of games. I think only one of them I'm not allowed to tell you about. I could talk about Lego Batman. I may do that at the end of the show. And you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. Even though I'm still a little apprehensive, I think I can. I'm just going to say it. I got to play Invincible. And even though I'm still not 100% sure I can't talk about it, I'm going to assume I can because the event I went to was literally a bunch of regular people. They're not going to, they're not going to adhere to an NDA, you know? So I'm going to assume I could talk about Invincible. And there's another game I can check out. That one I absolutely cannot tell you about, you know, so can't talk about that. I can't say I did check out the new, I got to check out one of the new Scuff controllers. I don't have it here, but I received it. But I'm going to write about it this weekend. So yeah, I've been a busy boy, you know. So I'll talk about some of that later on. And I got to see your boy Hip Hop Gamer tonight, you know. Hey, yo, Tone! No stranger to danger. I'm telling you, we were at this event. Packed event, loud as fuck, music, DJ playing. I heard this motherfucker from across the room. Hey, yo, Tone!
You already know, man.
Yeah, yo, I told you this about hip hop because he lost a bunch of weight because, like, he became a vegetarian. That motherfucker's still strong, you know? Mm-hmm. He gave me a hug, man. I almost lost my breath. I was like, shit. You know? Yo, hip hop was telling me about how, you know, he only ran into Torrance once at CES. He's like, yo, man, I ran into him in the bathroom. And I'm like, he must have taken a big shit. He died, Dad. He was done. Like, yo, Tone, you crazy. Yeah, so shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. I'm going to see if I can get him on the show. As soon as I brought up, yo, I got to have you back on Throwdown. He was like, word, yo, we got to do it, son. Let's go. Oh, yo, Carlos, you know who was there? His cousin.
Oh, his cousin.
Yeah, the same one that was on the show. He's big nice. Now, you know. Yo, hold on. Let me get my cousin.
He's the validator of everything hip hop says. He's like,
tell him how I look up my TV. Yo, that kid is like, yo, what's happening right now? Oh,
what's
man,
funny
good times, man.
He was probably a kid when that happened. He's probably a grown ass man now.
Oh, he is a grown man. Like, yo, who's this motherfucking dude? You know, that shit is funny, man. So yeah, we can get to that later. But yeah, man, you got the three of us, and we got a lot of Xbox topics to talk about. I know you guys like it when we're talking about Xbox, but I'm gonna say right now, if you're a PlayStation pony, the last topic we're gonna talk about may upset you. So just be prepared.
Oh.
Viewer discretion is advised. You know.
I've been warned.
Logic Win says, "What's crazy is I still remember that episode Hip Hop Gamer did with his cousin. They demoed God of War Ascension. Yeah, man." Yo, Logic Wins, were you listening to the War Zone back in the day? Because there's a very infamous episode with Hip Hop Gamer, you know, where he was doing some extracurricular activities with a young lady, you know, in the background. Remember Torrance?
Oh.
He's like, "Is that a baby?" Because he was hearing cries and shit. Is that a baby?
That was Warzone After Dark.
I think every episode of Warzone was Warzone After Dark.
Yeah,
that show was crazy.
To be fair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, Logic Guns remember. Yeah, hip hop knocking boots. Yo, Torrance though, is that a baby? Torrance, man, character, man. I think I said this on the show before. It's like, I'm just being real. I don't cry. I haven't cried since I was like a teenager, right? Sad cry. Get me in a room with Torrance, or even a podcast, tears, bruh. No one can make me laugh like Torrance, man. It is crazy, you know?
He cracks you up?
He cracks me up. Yo, when I had dinner with Torrance at CES, it was funny. We were talking for 2 hours just about how, like, lame superhero shit is. And at the end, we're like, yo, we should have recorded. That was a great conversation, you know? It's awesome. Anyway, man, let's get into it. Some Xbox stuff. Lots of twists and turns. Lots of, news from, trust me, bro, sources. But this first one is confirmed. Kind of interesting because obviously the big topic of last week was the Game Pass price hike for Ultimate subscribers. I think that's already going to be going into effect. It's either soon or it has gone into effect in America. Some places are not going to be subjected to that, at least for a year. So I'm reading this off of the IGNs. Microsoft confirms Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price increases delay in some countries, but not the US or UK. Europe. I think they're spared. Microsoft has delayed its controversial Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price hike in some countries, but not the US or UK. Last week, Microsoft sparked a backlash with its decision to raise the price. Yeah, we covered all that. To justify the price hike, Microsoft upped the number of day one releases to 75. Do they even have 75 fucking games, bro? You know? Anyway, let me get to the good part. I hate these articles. I never get to the fucking point. You know? I'll tell you this. You read one of Tony's articles, right there. Bam. We get right into it. You know? For you guys who ever watch Tracy Morgan's it was Tracy Morgan, right? Yeah, Tracy Morgan's one. Mike back in the day. He's like, he was talking about how like he would put on the porno tape and shit. He was like, yo, when you watching black porno, you hit play, they're already fucking, you know. So when you read my articles, you start reading, you get the information, you know. So and I gotta dig through this shit. You know what? Fuck it. Basically, if you're in Europe, like there's like some kind of law there. Like they need to get a heads up for like 2 weeks if they're gonna increase the price or not. But
60 days, I think.
60 days, right? Something like that. Fucking IGN, man. Get to the point. You know? I'm 5 paragraphs in there and I get into the good part, you know?
Is that Ryan McCaffrey writing this?
Yeah, who wrote this shit? Wesley Van Pool. I never heard of him. Related to Deadpool, you know? Bro, 5 paragraphs. They don't even get to the point yet, you know? Anyway, fuck the article. So regardless, if you're in Europe, you're spared for a while, right? But this raised some backlash. It's like, oh, wait, so you knew about this shit like beforehand, you didn't tell us about it, because the price hike kind of came out of nowhere, right? But they knew they weren't going to be able to do it in Europe, So there's a lot of fishiness going on there. UK regretting Brexit. I think they're regretting a lot of shit in the UK right now, But yeah, Carlos, what are your thoughts on this?
The only thing that I'm confused about is why is the US delayed as well, since we don't adhere to, I guess, the EU's sort of regulation. So that's the interesting part. But it looks like, because when I first read it, it sounded like they were canceling it or
Yeah.
not doing it, but no, there's just a delay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not surprised that the EU is delaying it because of this, because they usually have a lot of stuff that makes it so, like, at least sort of anti-consumer type stuff sometimes that actually works. So shout out to them for that. Did they say when the US is actually gonna get those price hikes? Because I know they've been delayed,
Yes.
but we don't know when.
They did say, didn't they say October 2nd? If you're a
No,
yeah.
starting next month, I believe.
Oh,
November.
okay. So is that for existing subscribers or new subscribers?
That's a good question. I think I thought in general the prices start going to increase starting November. That was what I had saw in the notice.
I got here it is. I went to Verge. They got to the point right away. So thank you to those guys. But this the end of the article. This is what Microsoft says. This updated pricing will go into effect on October 1st for new subscribers, and then at the next billing cycle, likely to be November 4th for current subscribers. So there you go, Rich. Yeah, that's how it is. So if you're getting into it now, pay the money.
You gotta get the money. Rich, you're still on Game Pass, right?
Oh yeah.
How
Are you still? Well, go ahead. What did you say?
Are you still gonna pertain to subscription, or are you thinking about canceling?
Oh, well, that's a phenomenal question, Carlos. You see, I have a job which is to cover a lot of games, so you best believe I will be keeping a subscription, but I didn't say anything about I'm going to be paying for a subscription. No. Yeah, so I for now I'm good until next year, because mines are supposed to expire. That's not an issue no more. So, but I'm good until next year, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Shout out to The Verge. Actually did this shit right, And it's funny because they're not even a gaming fucking site. They did it better, Right from the second paragraph, this is what Microsoft says. At this time, these increases will only affect new purchases and will not affect your current subscription for the market in which you reside. As long as you're on auto recurring plan, should you choose to cancel your plan and repurchase, you will be charged at the new rate. Okay, and then next part here. Microsoft has confirmed to The Verge that the email is genuine and it's not impacting subscribers in the US or UK. And then here's another quote. Our recent Game Pass update remains unchanged. Current subscribers in certain countries will continue renewing at their existing price for now. In line with local requirements, we'll provide advance notice before price adjustments take effect in these countries. Okay, so there you go. They don't have. I don't know if they have a list of the countries here. Oh, here we go. Xbox Game Pass subscribers in Poland, Ireland, Italy, Germany, and South Korea have all reported that they've received the emails today. So they got the heads up. Hey,
we got the emails.
They got the emails.
The emails.
The change in these countries is likely related to local regulations on subscription price charges, and it remains in Ireland. Existing subscribers with auto renew enabled will still be charged the, I guess, €17.99 monthly rate instead of the new $26.99 pricing. Microsoft notes in its email that existing subscribers in these markets will be notified at least 60 days in advance of price changes, meaning the changes won't go into effect for at least 2 more months. Okay, there you go. We didn't get that update, though. It's just, hey, bitch, you're paying more now,
Oh, yeah. I definitely didn't get no emails about the increase. So, but let me make a quick comment and say this. I don't agree with the price increase whatsoever. I mean, I understand the price was going to go up, but by that much, I think is absurd. And I'm going to be very curious to see how that will impact Xbox moving forward. I know the ESPN also has this subscription because our very good friend Mr. Carlos Romero said that he's going to subscribe so he can watch the WWE pay-per-views that are going to be coming over to ESPN. But $30 a month for a subscription? Absolutely not. Economy? No, yeah, absolutely not. That's complete garbage.
Yeah. By the way, in a shocking twist of reversals here or whatever, I got my metaphors all fucked up. And shout out, I'm not going to go too hard because obviously we're effectively colleagues. We're for the same parent company, Jess Corden, who is known as a very, he's a protector of Xbox. We could say that. He wrote an article today. Here's the head. I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to read the headline. In its quest for infinite money, Xbox is alienating its fans and everything it once was. Will it even be worth it in the end, Microsoft? And this is Jess Corden saying that. Trouble in paradise,
What did he tweet this?
He wrote an article about this.
Oh.
And if you read Jess Corden's articles, it goes on for a while,
I mean, that shout out to him. I mean, I wasn't expecting this because he honestly, and well, not even shout out to him because he's literally one of the last people that are actually talking sense to Microsoft because I mean we know a whole bunch of Xbox influencers, Xbox influence adjacent people, and most of them are already jump ship to the narratives. They're like, Microsoft, get your shit together.
Yeah,
they're like, this is anti-consumer and this is not going to make you a better company and make people want to flock to your system, to your ecosystem.
Ryan McCaffrey, he's not happy.
Ryan McCaffrey, yeah. I actually got what's it called? Recommended a YouTube short from McCaffrey, and he went in.
Damn.
Yeah, like I randomly too. He went in on Xbox.
Yeah, and even
he's talking about their creed.
Yeah, no, and even our good friend Paris Lilly, he had some harsh words for them as well. Granted, what Jez said here is not exactly harsh, but him saying that is pretty noteworthy. What's up, Rich?
Well, since you mentioned that, I do want to make a comment about this, and I'm not going to mention any particular names, but I will say I would like to give some advice for the Xbox content creators out there. They need to think of other things to talk about. Now, talking bad about the company and holding them accountable, yes, do that. But making content about people who have a beef back and forth, talking about if somebody is an Xbox fanboy or not, that is what I consider horrible content. So no, we don't want to see all that drama, but definitely talk bad about Xbox and hold them accountable. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I by the way, I brought this up in the Discord. It was either today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It probably was yesterday because I was working from home. Fucking Amazon Prime Day, bro. It was what the hell? And I forgot my point. Oh yeah, RGT85. The big Nintendo guy is now an Xbox channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's like you said, Rich. He's holding them accountable for the bullshit they're pulling, But, he has taken your advice and he's not talking about other influencers. He's specifically just saying, Microsoft, what the hell are you doing? Which I think is fair. But I just find it funny. Like, I was watching his latest video. It's like, that's right, RUT85, Mr. Number One Xbox channel. Because, I think the last, 4 or 5 videos he's done is all about Xbox. It's been a bad week for Xbox. Let's just be honest.
It's been a bad man.
Yeah, there you go. Sir, therefore, he uploaded another video. This is bad, man. I think this is the worst week Xbox has had since was it back in July 2nd? The layoffs, the studio closures and shit. That was a dark day, but this shit, man.
Well, remember, I mean, it wasn't too long ago. Like you mentioned, it was July time during the summer. There was still a bastion of folks still, trying to justify all of these things by saying that middle managers were being relinquished from the realms of Xbox and holding them back. Now it's almost no one is defending Xbox.
Not even Kid Smooth.
Damn.
Not even Kid Smooth, man.
So
damn! To what you said, no one is defending Xbox. Blitz goes, Brett.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
But,
not fair.
you know,
Brett's not here to defend himself, bro.
yeah, Brett. I can't talk shit about Brett if he's not here. So
Yeah, I'm gonna put the conspiracy hat on the fans right now, and they're saying that the reason Brett hasn't been on the show is because of all this bad Xbox news. That's the conspiracy I think the fans are having, but they're not saying it outright.
and we can confirm it's definitely not that.
It's not. It's not that at all. It's not that at all, guys. But it would be funny, like, yo, man, it's that was the reason he ain't there. Tell me. So when some guys in a DM, yo, Tony, you can tell me for real, bro. David Jaffe is defending the price increase. Of course he is. David Jaffe's crazy.
David Jaffe, he zigs when everyone zags.
Pretty much.
That's he's a provocateur by nature. That's his whole that's his whole existence these days.
Pretty much. All right. Okay, so there's next Xbox story. So, I believe it was during the weekend, a report came out or a leak, whatever the fuck it was, that Xbox was done making consoles, right? That obviously everybody went fucking crazy, and on Throwdown we were boasting a little bit because we're like, yeah, we told you, we've been telling you this, right? Yeah, as a matter of fact, Jez Corden said that ain't happening. Then Microsoft replied, they're like, you're right, we are still making another console because apparently their stock price went down, right? But then as soon as Microsoft, quote unquote, confirmed that they are going to release a new Xbox, the stock price went up. Very interesting, right? So in the lead up to that, or after that, I should say, an AMD engineer came out to say that the next Xbox system is in development, full steam ahead. Very interesting choice of words, by the way, full steam ahead. Especially that, from what we heard, that this thing may actually be a PC more than a console. So this info comes from Moore's Law's Dead. Very good track record generally. So that's why I'm like, it's cool. Because usually if it's from a YouTuber, I dismiss it. But this guy has some good sources, Yeah. So he says that he's spoken with an AMD engineer, and said engineer confirmed that they are working on it, Which, here's the thing. All those reports that were coming out about Xbox not coming out with consoles, I just kind of already assumed, like, okay, it's like later in the future after this one, because we do know they are working on something right now. Even, like, I think AMD has already been talking about this. And I'm going to kind of tie this back into something AMD related that we're going to talk about later on. Actually, I think the next three stories are all AMD related, but that Mark Cerny video, we're going to talk about that because there's something he said there that no one's reporting except your boy. I talked about it when I reported on it, But yeah, so I'm not surprised by this. Xbox will have another console, and Carlos and I are on the same page. It's like it's probably going to be more like a PC than an actual console, So what do you think about that, bro?
Yeah, I mean, the console thing might be a semantical thing where it's like they might not release another console, but we're still going to get a hardware release from Microsoft, or at least a Microsoft branded item, similar to how the ROG Xbox Ally is. And this next one is definitely going to be a PC because they got nowhere to go. We've had two generations now, the last two generations of them just failing at selling consoles at a pace where anywhere near their competitors. So, they have to change, or they think they have to change. And I think that's what they're doing this whole partnership with AMD, and they're going to try to release something more akin to a PC where they can play their games. They can stream, they can do work, they can do whatever on the PC, but it's mostly focused on gaming. And that's why they're doing the ROG Ally stuff as well, is because that's a lower barrier of entry to get into the Xbox ecosystem. And and what did they do with that? With the ROG Xbox Ally? They had their own custom software. Yep. That was a little bit more cut down of a version of Windows in order to get that into that machine. But also, it's probably going to be in the new machines as well, because at the end of the day, it's still Windows. Even though it's a cut down version of it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Windows operating system, which that's how you're going to install it, or that's going to be installed, and then you're going to have that little overlay on it with the Xbox and reduced reduced what do you call it, overhead from the overall windows. But yeah, it's not going to be a standard console this go around.
No.
They're trying something different.
So I want to read this part because it kind of gels with what you just said. The engineer also noted that the Magnus APU, that's the chip that's going to be running this thing, that the Magnus APU's future depends on how Microsoft decides to position it. The Magnus chip was originally called an, quote, Xbox project, but it could turn into a PC console hybrid in 2027, or even a literal gaming PC APU that is just an Xbox in name only. Sources from Moore's Law is Dead added that design work is still ongoing, dismissing earlier rumors that the project has been canceled. To me, what I just read there is like, yeah, they're still trying to decide, do we want to make this more like a console or more like a PC? You know? That's what this is saying to me right there. Because like you said, right, where else can they go? They've kind of hit a limit when it comes to consoles, right? No one cares about Xbox consoles. Now they're trying to handheld. We'll see how that goes. And then for the quote unquote next gen, the most powerful console, according to Sarah Bond, it may not be a console at all. It may be like a imagine if it's like a mini PC basically, because mini PCs don't have full on like giant GPUs and shit in them. They have laptop chips and shit. So I could see that.
Yeah, and their whole marketing can be geared towards this is the cheapest gaming PC you can buy.
Oh, you already know that's going to be their marketing.
Because they can sell them for, let's say, $1,200 to $1,500, right?
Yeah.
And technically, if you're comparing it to other PCs, like it might look like an enticing deal because kids these days they like to watch the streamers. They like to game on PC.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. You remember, Tony? There was like there was something released where it was like, oh, this is the percentage amount of people, or
I remember
by
that.
the generations,
yeah,
of people playing on PC and stuff, and people were like, oh, people are still playing on consoles, but like, and try to make it seem like consoles were sort of heading the right direction, when in reality, it's like that same thing said that over 50% were playing on PCs, which to us now, since we're older, like that seems crazy, thinking that PC was 15%.
Yeah,
because it was utterly dominated by consoles back in the day. So the trend is PC is going up. So that's where I feel like Microsoft they can't compete in the traditional console sense. So they're going to release a sort of a quote unquote PC type console where they can advertise it as such and say, oh, this is the cheapest gaming PC you can buy, and it's Xbox branded. And you can play your Steam library. You can be Epic library, just like how, and Rockstar one, just like how you can do in the ROG Ally. They already started that narrative where they're making it. They're showing it's like, oh, you can play anything.
Yeah,
this is an Xbox. This is an Xbox.
Hey, Logic Win says 1,200 to 1,500 is wild. If that happens, I'll stick with Nintendo and call it a day. Here's the thing. Yeah, 1,200 and 1,500 is a lot for a console. But for a PC, that's a fucking steal,
Yeah, for a good one, yeah.
My PC is like 4 years old. It cost me almost $4,000, bro, back then. So it's like 1,500. Shit. So yeah, I think that's where they're gonna go.
Not to mention that the competition is only helping that where. We have the Lenovo Legion Go 2.
Yeah.
That starts at $1099.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 5 Pro is $750. If I recall correctly.
Yes. Yeah. Now it's $750. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like even the competitors are leaving that much space for them to not raise the prices as well and have those exorbitant prices. I mean, even Nintendo raised the price of the Switch too.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. So yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, I do think Xbox will eventually go full on like software, right? Especially if this thing doesn't take off. But next generation, and we've been saying this for a while, next generation they will have something, All right, so another one. Now this one is still kind of a rumor, right? So don't take it with a grain of salt. Although your boy Jez, he denied this shit real quick. But it's interesting. So this report comes from Rich's favorite journalist, Tom Henderson. Xbox's dedicated handheld was canceled because AMD required 10 million units. That's a report. That's a report. Now, if this thing is true, and again, take it with a huge grain of salt. We have no confirmation here. That's absolutely fucking insane. To me, that suggests that AMD didn't want to partner with Microsoft for this, so they made up some ridiculous number, right? Let's break it down. The Xbox, while we don't have firm numbers here, right? It's estimated that it's sold, Xbox Series X and S has sold around 30 million, right? Then you have, I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna say all handheld sales, right? All handhelds that are on the market, not counting the Switch, obviously, have sold collectively 6 million. In what world was Xbox, a console that sold 30 million, and handhelds are at 6 million, with Steam Deck being 4 million? In what world was an Xbox handheld going to sell 10 million? No fucking way. No way. Which makes me think, and this is slightly tin hat, not full on tin hat. Maybe it's got a little bit of lining, Or I got a headband, wrist, aluminum, just a headband, not the whole thing. AMD was like, yeah, this shit ain't, because probably Microsoft came up to them, hey, we want to work on this handheld. Can you make the chip for us? AMD was cool, but then we're like, oh, wait. Then they saw what I just said, like, oh, wait, hold on, bro. Let's make them an offer they can refuse. 10 million. So that's what I think happened, Again, that's just my tinfoil headband there, but that's what I think happened.
Yeah, well, and also you have to think about AMD. They have to, if they're going to invest all this on, on this, probably a new SoC for Microsoft, they have to, put in a lot for the R&D, for the chip manufacturing and all that stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually sort of a standard that they kind of do for these types of custom builds. And we know for the new Xbox, that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Like you said, it's probably was never going to sell 10 million anyways.
No way.
So it seemed like a no-brainer. And Microsoft, they just went to one of the people that were already working on them. So sort of for them, it was like more like a win-win.
Yeah. So as soon as this report came out, our friend Jess Corden came out and he said it isn't even slightly true, without naming sources. It isn't true. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a trust me, bro.
It's a trust me, bro situation. Again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but Jess is in the news, and this is a podcast that covers news, so we gotta cover the fucking news, even if it's a colleague, But it's like, dude, you can't just say it's not true. Source, You could even say my sources tell me. I would even accept that. I would still think it's trust me, broism. But it's slightly better, trust me, broism. And I'm going to turn that into an ism now. Fuck it.
Well, you need a really good track record in order to have that be viable. And we've talked about what's his name? Forgetting his name. The dude that always talks
Grubby?
about Crutch. No.
Jason Schreier.
Jason Schreier, for whatever we all believe in about him and stuff, if he does a trust me, bro, type of situation, I would lean to trust him more than almost anyone.
Yeah,
because he actually does have a lot of sources, and his reporting is almost always on point when it comes to just reporting the facts.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I've said this many times. I don't like Jason Schreier. I think he's a scumbag, but he's a good reporter. You could have both opinions. Those are the facts.
Those are the facts.
But yeah, very interesting story. But Jez Corden debunked it, so I guess that's the end of it, right?
Well, I mean, and it's like, and also just just to say something with Jez, it's like every time I see something about Jez talking about Xbox, it's always sort of reporting on the counter narrative where where the narrative is a negative one towards Xbox. So it's like if Xbox is something's reporting with Xbox being negative, he's quick to respond with the counter argument that's to the positive side of Xbox, and it's always the case.
There's a term for that, isn't it? Like running interference or something like that.
I would call it propaganda, but I mean, some people call it different things. But you could be right. So I'm look, I don't want to just beat on Jess right now, but
yeah,
he could be right. But I'm just saying his track record is almost always to counter the negative Xbox narrative.
Yeah, it's insane. So, Rich, what do you make of all this, man?
You're talking about Jez's comments?
About the AMD supposedly wanting 10 million units of the supposed Xbox handheld.
Oh yeah, well, I guess I mean, I do believe that they are the ones that's in control of this situation now. They are partnered with Microsoft. You guys made the comments earlier about the next Xbox PC being in the range of maybe $1,200. I do think that is possible. However, remind me again, Tony, how much is the upcoming handheld from Xbox, the ROG Ally? Did they reveal that price already?
Yeah, it starts at $599, and the highest end is what's it?
$1099.
$1099. Yes. Wait, is it? I thought it was $999 for the high.
Maybe it was $999.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Because I know the highest end ROG Ally is less than the starter Legion Go.
Yeah, and maybe the starting Legion Go might be $1099. Maybe that's why I got it confused.
Yeah. So yeah, Rich, that those are the numbers.
Well, that definitely changes now what I was going to say, because I thought if that ROG Ally was under 1,000, then the new Xbox could be at 1,000. But I guess they are going to go along. I mean, well, yeah, them working with AMD, in their minds, that means it will justify the price of whatever it is that they decide. So obviously, if it's a lot more expensive, they're going to say, well, hey, this is a PC, by the way. Like Carlos said, this is a gaming PC, top of the line. Everything is going to have teraflops and all this other crap. So that's what they'll probably be saying. But yeah, that makes sense. But I'm curious to see how the ROG Ally does sales-wise, because we are in a very shifty economy right now. I don't know anybody that's going out to purchase this device.
Well, although Lenovo had to cancel pre-orders because they couldn't meet the demand for the 1349 one. Whoa! Motherfuckers got money, and from what I understand, Xbox ROG Ally pre-orders are very strong. So, very interesting. Okay. And there's a related story here, because remember everybody complaining about Switch price? Well, yeah, a lot of people bought that console too. So it's like you guys love talking shit about how expensive these systems are. When they come out, you go fucking buy them. Very interesting.
Well, hey, we do have one of those individuals on this show that purchased the Switch too. So absolutely.
I will say, we'll speak about that some other time. I will talk about this though. There, in no world can console makers, this is more generalized, but I'll focus on Xbox for this topic. Xbox has a handheld that's $600 and that's $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if they release the new console, or quote unquote console, it doesn't seem likely that they could justify having a console cost less than their handheld, which will be nowhere near the amount of power that the system is. So that's where I think that's why I think, because all the rising prices affect everything. They affect handhelds, they affect consoles, they affect PCs. So if you have handhelds that go up to a price that are in the thousands, you can't have PCs and PS6s and PS7s and Xbox 360 RX, whatever they're going to be called. You can't have them be at the same price as the handhelds. That's why they're trying to justify it costing so much, and that's why they're doing the PC route. Not only because they're not competing with the console in the console space, but these companies have to justify charging $1,000+ for a console for the first time in probably ever.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the pricing is $599 for the starter one, and then $999 for the high end one. So it is $100 less than the Legion, the low end Legion. You know, very interesting. By the way, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
That's where to me the more interesting thing is PlayStation. Where the hell are they going to go with their? Because they only do consoles. They're not going to do a PC. They did it in PS3 technically, but they're not. I don't think they're not doing the PC route. I could be wrong. There's a topic that might lean towards later on, but they might just charge $1,000 straight up just for a console.
Yeah. They might. We'll have to see. Go ahead, Rich.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Carlos said. I'm very curious to see that. I think Sony is still going to try to undercut Xbox. If they come out and say this new Xbox console is going to be $1,200, Sony's going to be like, oh really? Okay, $900 for PlayStation 6 or something like that. I could see them doing that because even though they are the market leader, they definitely going to try to undercut Xbox, I think, in some way, shape, or form. But, we'll have to wait and see. But I will say this as a note to Microsoft, Xbox, when they do decide to release this console and they tell people that it's going to be $1,200 or more, I would strongly recommend they do not bring in Don Matrix to tell them, well, if you cannot afford this new console, we have a console for you. It's the Xbox Series X and S. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. And Rich, and remember this. This wouldn't be the first time PlayStation undercuts Microsoft with the price. They did it 12 years ago. $400, remember? Mm-hmm. Look where we've come. Look where we've come from. Gone from there, man. $400 was undercutting. Now, like $900 is undercutting it.
It's crazy, man. All right. Before moving on, I just want to throw this out there because it just stuck in my head as soon as we were discussing this. A couple weeks ago, I think I talked about this. I was playing a lot of. Actually, I beat Final Fantasy Tactics. And one of my favorite things about that game was the dialogue, right? Got me really obsessed with that Elizabethan shit. So I was like, yo, let me go back and give some William Shakespeare a try, right? So I've been reading some of the plays. It is good stuff, man. My favorite one, this one I read when I was a kid, was Julius Caesar. But this Xbox thing just reminded me of a scene from there. One thing I like doing with Julius Caesar, I'll read the play, then I'll watch a adaptation. So the one I saw was with Marlon Brando as Mark Antony. So there's a part where he's like, Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious, but Brutus is an honorable man, right? So it just got me thinking, reports say that what is it? Jess Corden says that reports about Xbox are wrong, and Jess Corden is an honorable man. Like, all right, bro, you're always there defending Xbox, running cover,
Who's Cassius?
Yeah, who is Cassius? Would that be Colt Eastwood? Oh, man. Actually, who is Tim Dog in Julius Caesar? That's what I want to know.
He might just be Nero. A little bit off the timeline, but
yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm wondering because remember, Tim Dog is always saying like, "I've been saying this. I've been saying this. He's the old guy. Beware the Ides of March." That was Tim Dog, the crazy old guy. You know, Caesar like, "Be gone with you." You know,
who's Cleopatra?
Well, she wasn't in that play. That's a different play. You know. Actually, is Phil Spencer's Julius Caesar? You know.
Oh no.
Oh man. Anyway, but I just maybe like and Jess Corden is an honorable man. Oh man, good stuff. I wonder which performance is better, Marlon Brando or Charlton Heston as Mark Anthony. You know, they're both good. You know, it's fun seeing Marlon Brando so fucking young. You know.
Oh yeah.
But he still has the same voice.
Oh yeah, he has a voice. Yeah. I mean, his Streetcar Named Desire is a good one too. He's in a lot of good. Man, he's in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great. It's a great series. You know. Wait, Bliss. Who's Sarah Bond? Is she Caesar? And two Sarah Bond. She's the one that stabbed him. Oh man, it's good stuff.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if Phil is Julius Caesar, and let's say someone from the inside is actually Brutus and Cassius. Well, then it's probably Sarah Bond and Aaron Greenberg.
You know, Satya Nadella. He's probably one of the gods or something.
Yo, he's a god. Yeah, he's a god in this play.
He's the god. You know. Yeah. By the way, that's the other thing. Like me, like how I said, like, yo, I don't like all this new stuff. I'm going back to old stuff. I'm going way back. I started reading the Iliad, bro. That's a good fucking book. You know. The gods are everywhere in that shit. I'm like, bro, can you chill? Let the armies fight. You're always interfering, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I like the gods bickering with each other, you know? Like, there's this one part where Zeus tells, and it's funny because the version I'm reading, they call them by the Roman names, which is weird, but Zeus tells Athena and Hera to chill, you know? Like, hey, listen, don't interfere with the fucking fight. Let them do the thing. And then, of course, Zeus goes down there and starts interfering with the fucking fight, you know? So the women are like, fuck it, we're going to go down there too. And they interfere a little bit. And then Zeus, he's like, okay, Hera, I expected this shit from you. But you, Athena, really? I'm disappointed. Like, damn, just throwing his wife under the bus like that.
Yo, by the way,
yeah.
Speaking of Homer related stuff.
Oh, I'm very aware that the Odyssey's coming out next year, Syrian Air Force, you know? Go ahead, bro.
And that's exactly what triggered it. Was Syrian Air Force. I want to watch this movie in IMAX, man.
Oh yeah,
I don't have IMAX where I live, so wink, wink.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, let's just say there's plenty of IMAXs around here, and I never see a Nolan movie that isn't in IMAX. You know. But yeah, good stuff, man. Go read the classics. Book is fucking good, man. It's just funny, like. I've been looking for, I find it ironic that I've been looking for like a good solid Bronze Age story, and I'm literally getting it from the first piece of Western literature, you know? Like their bronze swords glittered in the sun. Like, that's cool, man, because I thought I was going to get that with Conan. Even though it's supposed to be for the Bronze Age, they'll have steel weapons. I'm like, that's not bronze, you know? But yeah, man, the gods are funny, man. They're, the God of War games, they depicted them pretty accurately. They're just bickering all the fucking time. I like that shit. Anyway, what are we doing? A little segue here. AMD and Sony discussed Project Amethyst. So they just kind of just dropped this story out of nowhere, So they released a video, quick little video, 9 minutes. They mostly just go into the tech. They don't really get into too much into the weeds. But I'm going to read this quick report from me, So it's kind of fun. I'm reading my own article, so it'll probably sound like me. In a new video.
Hopefully it's more concise.
Yeah, right, In a new video, Sony's Mark Cerny and AMD's Jack Hyun, I think I'm saying that right, sat down to discuss Project Amethyst, which is the technology expected to power the PS6. While we didn't get any updates about the unannounced PlayStation console, we did learn a little bit more about how it will push the limits of gaming tech. The PS5 and PS5 Pro can both deliver ray tracing, blah, blah, Actually, I'll read this. PS5 and PS5 Pro can deliver ray trace graphics, but this takes a big toll on the system's GPU, which is why you often see games running at 30 frames a second when ray tracing is enabled, which is one of my pet peeves. Sony and AMD are refining the process for ray tracing and path ray tracing to alleviate some of the stress on the GPU. Machine learning, or AI, will play a major role in this and should not only result in less stress on the GPU, but also better graphics and smoother gameplay. So basically, just offloading all that shit. This thing's gonna have an NPU, basically. Do some task over there, let the GPU have some more breathing room. And I said some of the discussion can get technical, but it's fascinating to hear how the companies are attempting to overcome the limitations of existing machine learning tech in the PS5 and PS5 Pro by streamlining the process to reduce the system's workload. It should hopefully result in more games that can run at both 4K and high frame rates between 60 and 120 FPS. Lower power consumption is another big thing we can expect from the PS6, according to the video. Now, here's the part I want to focus on, because I haven't seen anybody else talk about this, really. This part, the first part I'm going to read, they have talked about it, but it's the part that the AMD guy said. I'm like, whoa, why are we talking about this? So Mark Cerny said that it's still early days for the technologies being utilized for Project Amethyst, but he's looking forward to seeing the benefits it can bring to the next PlayStation. Interestingly, Jack Hyun expressed his excitement to bring this tech to game developers across every gaming platform. Remember, you're talking to Mark Cerny, the architect of PlayStation, and my man says every gaming platform, right? So, and remember, this is technologies that Sony and AMD are working with. They're collaborating to make this stuff, right? So, and I said this right here. I'm like, maybe you'll see this in an Xbox, the Xbox we were talking about earlier. Possible, Xbox has always had an AMD chip, right? At least like the last couple consoles. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. Again, the video is kind of nothing interesting, but that's what stuck out. The two things were PlayStation is still PS6 is still a few years out, and this technology is going to be coming to other platforms. That's crazy.
Well, Tony, so you thought of that, but here's the first thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of key words. You mentioned low power.
Yeah.
You mentioned NPU. And you mentioned, what was it, the other thing? I forgot. Oh, the platform thing.
Yeah.
Multiple platforms. Low power. Isn't Sony supposed to? There's allegedly in the rumors.
Uh-oh.
A PlayStation handheld in the future.
Oh, you just fucked me up right now. You just fucked me up. You're right. Right? Why would you want to develop something that has low power consumption, right? I probably would have thought about that if I didn't have to. I literally wrote this thing in between two fucking appointments. I'm like, I gotta get this shit out fast. That's a great fucking point.
Because the Xbox thing, I feel like it's something on their own. That partnership doesn't seem like Project Amethyst has anything to do with it. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's and Sony, is really proprietary with their stuff, anyways. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Project Amethyst is something that not only works for the new system, but is also working alongside that with the new handheld that PlayStation allegedly might be working on.
Do you think the handheld will have a lower version of this APU or the same one? You know how there's a Z1 and Z1 version. Extreme? You know what I'm saying? Could we see something like that?
Yeah, I mean it's quite possible. I mean, we do it with GPUs. You see RTX and laptops like Brett has like a 4080 on his laptop.
Yeah,
but it doesn't work anywhere near the 4080 GPU standalone in the PC.
Yeah. So
there's different versions of that work differently depending on the power delivery that's going to these chips. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is what they're hinting at towards a new handheld for PlayStation, because it needs to be uniform across everything. So you're not gonna have a Vita situation where it's gonna work differently. Whatever games are gonna come out for the PlayStation 6 or cross-platform to PlayStation 5, because that's probably how it's going to launch at the beginning. But these games are going to be accessible throughout every platform that PlayStation is currently working on. I wouldn't be surprised, man. It seems like, I mean, and mostly because I'm trying to, I want to be right.
Okay.
But
no, it's a good. Right now, I'm going to be honest. I'm really mad I didn't think about this. I was so fucking pissed. Like, that's a great point. You know, why would you care about power? Like, let's just be honest. If you have a console, you're not worried about power consumption. You're worried about that shit on a handheld. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because I was just coming at it from. And this is purely because I, like I have to pay for electricity. I'm like, oh yeah, console that consumes less power. That's good. But what you really want it for is a handheld. And again, if you're going to have, the rumors obviously unsubstantiated that Sony's developing a handheld and a console proper that are going to be running the same games across each other, you would want the same tech in both of them, right? So so they play nice together. Fuck! That's a great point, man. Miss Cleo, put a pin on that shit.
Well, put a pin on it. Clip this out. Hopefully, in 2 years, because it's going to be in 2 years.
Yeah.
We'll be either vindicated or laughed at.
Yeah.
Whichever one.
One of them. Yeah. Thank you, Red Pill Sleeper Cell. Hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. Subscribe, especially subscribe if you've been watching us for years and you haven't subscribed yet. That happens, man. Yo, the other day I was watching some channel and I've been watching this motherfucker for years. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not subscribed. But his videos are always popping up, so I just assumed I was subscribed,
But you're subscribed to the algorithm.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is, bitch, if you've been watching Throwdown for years, please check that you're actually subscribed,
That's why a lot of YouTubers at the beginning of their videos are like, they put this little graphic where it says, this amount of viewers that watch my videos are not subscribed.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it's like most of them.
It's funny because Adam really hated when YouTubers do that. But now that he is a YouTuber himself, he's like, oh shit, I get it now. I fucking get it now.
He's working the system. He's trying to do the YouTubes.
That's it, man. But yeah, so interesting stuff there. Pretty kind of nerdy stuff, but also still digestible in my opinion. My thing is like we didn't get anything firm, right? It's just like you can infer a couple interesting things from there, But it's a short video, so I would urge you guys to check it out. Yeah, thank you, Coel, for hitting a like on. Everybody go, even if you're on Twitch right now, head over to YouTube and hit like.
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna end the show on like 3 more stories, and they're all sales related. So the first one here is, again, like I alluded to before, everybody was complaining about the Switch it's too pricey. It's too pricey. No one's going to buy this shit. I know Adam was. Well, guess what? It broke U.S. launch records. It's already sold 2.4 million units in its first 3 months in the U.S., putting it 5% ahead of the previous record holder, the PS4. Okay, so that's why because people were comparing this to PS4. I'm like, why the fuck are you talking about the PS4? But that was because that was the previous record holder. So that makes sense. So here's a quote from Matt Piscatella from Circana. With 2.4 million units sold, LTD over its... what does LTD mean, Carlos? I don't know what that means.
LTD.
Yeah, that's from sales, yeah. Lifetime, maybe. Lifetime, I don't know what the D means. But yeah, look into that. But I'll read this quote. With 2.4 million units sold LTD over its first 3 months market, Nintendo Switch 2 is now 5% ahead of the previous record-setting pace of PS4, which sold 2.2 million in the 3 months ending in January 2024. Matt Piscatella also pointed out that Nintendo Switch 2 unit sales are currently trending 77% ahead of the time-aligned sales of the original Switch. It's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. Again, for a console that motherfucker said was too expensive. I'm not buying that shit. It's too expensive. Well, you bought it,
Life to date.
Life to date. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, in the same amount of time. Yes. Well, life to date. The continued Switch 2 sales lead to a 32% increase in hardware spending for August. Okay, so August spending was up, in general for hardware. Thanks for the Switch. Wild, right? A few months later, then maybe what actually makes sense because it was very difficult to get a Switch in the beginning, I believe, but now you just buy it anywhere. So it kind of makes sense, Impressive stuff, I must say. What do you think, man?
It's definitely impressive considering the fact that the buzz around the Switch 2 wasn't as much as I feel people thought it would be.
Yeah.
And especially considering the price and the blowback of the price of the games, which was a pretty big issue, at the release of the console. I don't know if that 15 million by the end of the fiscal year is still going to be attainable. But yeah, it's definitely doing a lot better than I think most folks have thought this would do. And I don't know. I feel like we're still waiting for the big hitters to come out. We've gotten Mario Kart, which is it's a pretty big one, but we're still waiting.
Yo, man, we got that Donkey Kongs.
We got the Donkey Kongs. We shout out the Donkey Kongs. It was a great game. But we're still waiting for the Marios, the Pokemons, the Super Smash Brothers, the Animal Crossings, and the Zeldas to come out. When those come out, I feel like that's when it hits its stride, and we're still yet to reach that point. But yeah, so far so good for Nintendo. So it's gonna be interesting. And we still got what's it called? Metroid.
That's right. Yeah.
So we'll see how that does on this system. A lot of people complain that there's not a lot of games coming up, but I mean, we've gotten 2 games in the span of its lifetime, and we got like 2 more big ones by the end of the year. So comparing that to Microsoft and PlayStation, that's a lot.
That's crazy, man. So, Rich, what do you think about Switch doing so well, despite people complaining about how expensive it is?
Oh, well, I think it's phenomenal news for Nintendo. They haven't convinced me personally to invest my hard-earned money into getting one, but I think it's good news. Like Carlos said, I think obviously when the new Zelda drops, if there's a new Super Smash Brothers that drops, that is when you're going to see obviously the console sell even higher. I do think Metroid is, of course, I think that's coming out in December. That will help it too, because I know a lot of people have been waiting for that game specifically. Once again, in a very intelligent individual on this show said they can't wait to play that game on Switch 2. So yeah. So that's why I said, but no, I'm happy for it. I my only complaint is I wish that Nintendo would release a game I was interested in enough to want to buy the Switch 2, but it hasn't happened yet. So when they decide to get into grown man gaming, then we can have a conversation. But I'm not going to be playing no kiddie games on Switch 2.
That's funny. All right, next up here, Silent Hill 2 has sold 2 million copies. This game, because it dropped last year. I think it came out last year, right?
Let's see.
Yeah, it says October 8th. Silent Hill remake developed by Bloober Team went on sale PS5 and PC on Steam by October 8th. So it's been, that's 1 year then. 1 year, 2 million. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 2
million in 1 year, which is pretty good, or as Square Enix would say, an utter failure.
Yeah, absolute failure for them, so Konami, I think I forgot what it was, but they're doing something special to commemorate it. At least Konami has that right, So that's pretty cool. So if you're a Silent Hill guy, there you go. And then the last thing I want to talk about, we got to talk about Ghost of Yotei. So there's been, and this is a controversy one. So if you're a PlayStation listener, you may want to take your children out of the room for this one. You might get offended. So reports have come out that the game has sold roughly 2 million copies, right? But here's the thing. Those are estimates. Sony has not come out to say how much this game has sold, right? which is very interesting because you would think if they sold 2 million copies, they'd be celebrating, right? Or it could be that they're like, oh shit, it only sold 2 million. We don't want people to know that, you know? Very interesting. I'm like, again, I'm seeing all these reports, and they're basically reports that are confirming this. PlayStation, Ghost of Yotei has sold 2 million copies. Go to Naughty Dog, go to PlayStation, go to all their official Twitters. None of them are saying that. It's just estimates. So I'm like,
Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, yes. So I'm like, if this game really sold 2 million, actually, here's the thing. Again, tinfoil headband, right? I think it has sold 2 million, and Sony's embarrassed by that. That's what I think, you know? But what do you guys think of the fact that there's still been no confirmation yet?
Well,
Go ahead, Rich.
I'll go ahead, Rich.
Yeah.
well, I say this. I know the game came out October 2nd, so it's only been a week. I assume, my assumption is that they will announce this when the Game Awards happen, you know, whenever they show another trailer or whatever the next game is, because we know Wolverine, that game is not, they said 2026. They were very clear, 2026. There wasn't no confirmed date in 2026 yet. So, but I assume that when we get to the Game Awards, and then when you're hearing about all this stuff is on sale and all the upcoming games, at that point, around that time, Sony will probably release a statement talking about the sales, and confirm whatever the number is at that point in time. But I will say this though, you know, I have been playing Ghost of Yotei, you as well, Tony, and I will say that the game is I think the game is fine, but it's the same exact game that I played several years ago called Ghost of Tsushima. Just a different protagonist, a female protagonist, and the story is obviously different, but it's the same concept. So I don't know what Sony could expect sales-wise, because they did not do so much to reinvent the wheel from what the last game was. And then the other thing is they haven't released a lot of first-party games this year. And obviously, yes, we have to call that out, because I think people sort of forget this stuff when they call out Microsoft not releasing games. Well, Sony definitely ain't released that many first-party games this year. So that's why when a game does drop, there's a lot more eyes on it. This has to sell because they ain't been dropping too many games. So I'm curious to see what happens. But I will say this, until I see the confirmed numbers, I will take everything with a grain of salt. Whatever they say. Even if Mark Cerny came out and said in an interview the game has sold 2 million, I'm going to say, okay, where's the information? I need to see a chart that shows this information.
Is Jess Corden going to come out to confirm this? You know? But okay, so let's get to the little bit of controversy part. Yes, I have played Ghost of Yotei, played 3 hours, and that was all I could stomach. I was bored. Absolutely fucking bored. Blitz, you know how you feel about Horizon? That's how I felt about this fucking game, bro. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful game. Graphics incredible. And I'm a graphics guy, right? Even that wasn't enough. 3 hours in, like you said, Rich, I was doing the same shit I was doing in Ghost of Tsushima, but it was just half-hearted. That's the only thing I could think of. Like it, you don't. This game, you don't feel the passion for it, right? It's very by the numbers, right? So I was like, you know what? Do I really want to spend the next 60, 80 hours going through this? Do I really want to do that? Or do I want to keep reading the Iliad instead? I'm going to read the Iliad. Like, I'm going to do this shit. You know? I know you could be like, oh, Tony, maybe you're burnt on games. No, I just received the game code for a game I am excited for, and I will be playing. Rich, you know what it is, but I can't say it yet.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm like, I don't want to dedicate that much time to something like this. It's boring, man. It's fucking boring, you know? So sorry, PlayStation fans, if I offended your sensibilities there, you know, but it's
Well, yeah.
it's that Bliss. I know you'll feel me in this. The main character. I'm like, I don't care about this woman. You know.
Well, one other comment that I do also want to make, and I really want to emphasize this: there is a lot of games out right now. This is like nonstop. This has been this way since September, going all the way up until the holiday season. There are a lot of games out. I know that we were in a situation where we received the code for this game and a code for Final Fantasy Tactics around the same time.
Yeah.
And as I have said before, this is controversial, but I don't give a damn. I enjoyed the hell out of Final Fantasy Tactics more than Ghost of Yotei. So that is another thing that has to do with it too.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I happily sunk 60 hours into Final Fantasy. That was great. You know? So I'm like, I'm good. Yeah, the chat agrees with us, Rich. Final Fantasy Tactics is great. You know? Hey, Blitz, are you playing it on Switch? 'Cause I think that would be a really good Switch game, you know? But yeah, you know, and again, actually, I know I don't need to say this to our fans because you guys are grown man gamers, you know? You don't get easy, you know? But for anyone who want me to, just because Rich and I are saying that we don't care that much for Ghost of Yotei, we are not saying that you should enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you go right ahead. You know, we hope you do enjoy it, you know? But you know, just had to throw that out there. But our core fans, they know what's up, bro. They don't give a fuck. Good stuff there. Is there anything else? Because again, I kind of cobbled these stories last minute. So if I miss anything, feel free to speak. You know.
One thing I did want to interject with is I find it interesting that a lot of the complaints that I had for Ghost of Tsushima are the same complaints people are having for Ghost of Yotei.
Oh, too many foxes.
Too many foxes, you know, and I feel like once that new car smell ran out of Ghost of Yotei, a lot of people were sort of finally got the whiff of the actual car.
You might be right, maybe, but I don't know, man. It's like Ghost of Tsushima was just so fucking good, you know. But
Ghost
it really
of Tsushima was hype because of it was the nuance of it, you know, being a Western Japanese based game where, you know, they actually did it right.
Yeah.
And you know, the graphics of that game were crazy at the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, because it definitely was. I'm not gonna say it's wholly different, but it was what we wanted from Assassin's Creed. Let's just be honest. You know,
I was because I was disappointed in the combat. Because remember, the Ghost of Tsushima was, I think, his E3 trailer, one of them.
Yeah.
Like the combat looked like it was more dynamic than it was. The combat in Ghost of Tsushima is the most basic thing you will ever play. It's XX circle or whatever. And that's all it was. So, you know, it wasn't that intricate. Even sort of, they did like a like hidden parkour type stuff in the demo, and that wasn't really that prominent in the game. The best thing about it were sort of the boss matches. You know, every time you went against the boss, that was great. But everything else was pretty repetitive. You know, go to this village, clear it out. Go to this village, clear it out. Get the Mongols. So, you know, that was my issue with the game. Even though I still gave it praise because it looked incredible, and I liked the way that they did the voice acting with it, and the dark the black and white mode and stuff. Like, they did a lot of cool stuff that I really appreciated. So I gave it props for that. But, you know, for Ghost of Yotei, a lot of that stuff sort of, you know, like people didn't care as much for that with the new game, so they just played it for what it was.
Yeah,
and that's, you know, that's just how it goes.
It is what it is. But like we said before, I think Blitz said he thinks it's going to sell 5 to 8 million. I'm gonna err on the side of 5 million. I think it will. I think the game has sold 2 million right now. It's just Sony may not be proud of that, you know. But you know, and I said this before, this game will not outsell the first one. Look at the track record, right? A lot of Sony sequels do not outsell the predecessor. I'm talking about in recent years. Last of Us 2 did not outsell the original one. God of War Ragnarok did not outsell the first
I
one.
think Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
also.
2 did not outsell the first one. It's a pattern, because Ghost of Tsushima, I think sold 13 million. It's
It
big.
sold a lot.
It sold a lot.
Huge.
It was a huge game. It was a COVID game.
Oh yeah.
So, a lot. It got a boost from COVID because that people were just playing games.
Yeah. The MP helped a lot too. That shit was pretty hype. There was a lot going for it. By the way, I suspect that this game. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know if they announced multiplayer for this game yet. But if they did. Okay, Jin's gonna be in that shit. I guarantee you, Jin's gonna be in that. If they haven't already announced that,
You're talking about the Legends.
Yeah,
that multiplayer Legend. Yeah, they said early. That's early next year.
Yeah,
that's coming out sometime.
I think they're gonna add Jin to it. I'm gonna do it because that's really when I really think about it, that's my main complaint above all else. I wanted to keep playing as Jin because at the end of the game, the original one, he had finally become the Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like, I want to see where this shit goes. Nope. 200 years in the future, you get to play this as random bitch now. What? And she's already the ghost. No journey. You're just the ghost.
Well, here's the thing. With video games, it's not a ghost issue. The reason why I would disagree on wanting a replay now that he's a ghost is because
I'm talking about for me. Like I'm not saying it universal. I'm talking about for me. Like I want. Like where's this motherfucker going now?
No. But like here's the thing. Like So Jin at the end became the ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yeah.
But man, if they release a sequel with him again, you're still gonna be learning all the shit all over again, doing everything.
Yeah. Fuck! I got hit in the head with a rock. Now I forgot.
And that's all games. They all do that stupid thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's retarded.
At least with God of War, you still got was it the chains you still kept or something like that?
You still kept the chains. Yeah, you did. You keep some stuff. But at least with that, it's like, man, the gods take your shit away. You're like, all right, fuck. The gods granted they could take it away. But yeah, so I'm very interested to see if and when Sony will come out to say how much Ghost of Yotei has sold. Because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Expedition 33 come out again saying that they sold, like they hit a new milestone?
Yep.
5 million.
5 billion. That's crazy, man. So yeah, very interesting stuff. We got time. And I just got confirmation, so I'm glad that my assumption was right. I can indeed talk about Invincible. So let's get So because I know you guys had some questions for me before the show, so you could ask them again. But I'll give my little spiel first, and then Carlos and Rich, you jump in because you guys had some good questions before the show that we were talking about this game before the show, but we could talk about it live now. So yeah, I got to play it. I only did like a 2 out of 3 match with one of my colleagues from PC Mag. I will say the game, it does still feel like a little stiff compared to something like Marvel Tokon, but it's not as stiff as I feared. I was fearing that it was going to be like Mortal Kombat stiff. It is not that. It is a little bit smoother, but I still think the game could be a tad bit faster. It's a little slow, but I'm wondering if they're keeping it slow so it's easier to pull off combos, because combos are pretty easy to pull off. Even though I didn't know exactly how to do the super moves and stuff like that, it seemed to me like if you press the button enough times, it'll just come out like Tokon. I got to play as they just announced Cecil, right? So he's in the game, and I would say he may actually low key be the best character in the game because my boy, when he brought out Cecil, I had no answer because he has like a gun and he could just keep you away. Like I'm trying to get in, my fucking battle beast is getting fucked up by this cheap ass gun, But yeah, I also didn't get to hear too much of it because it was this big, loud place and shit. And I didn't put the headphones on because I wanted to talk to my friend. So I don't know. I can't really speak about the sound effects stuff. But yeah, very brutal, very violent. The graphics look really good. The game keeps looking better and better. Like if you saw the initial reveal, I believe was during Summer Game Fest, it looked okay, but now it's looking a lot better. And I'm pretty stoked for it, man. My only worry at the moment right now is that, like, for example, I think the reason they threw Cecil in there is because they're limited to the characters that have been on the show. Because I'm like, yo, like, there's a shit ton of characters you could add that are like way beyond the show, but they can't do that. But I guess that's future DLC, right? You know? But so far, I think it's good. But I will say, whatever problems I have with the game may be because my opinion is being colored by Marvel Tokon, because that was just fantastic. No notes on that one. It's just great. Looks great, feels great. Everything's just solid. But it's also slightly unfair. I understand that the Invincible team is the, Killer Instinct guys, right? But I think the Guilty Gear guys have a little bit more experience doing this stuff, But yeah, other than that, I'm excited to see what's up, and I believe there's going to be a closed beta soon. And I think I got a code for that because they gave me a little comic, and they gave me it looked like a trading card pack, but I think when I open it's going to be a code. So I'll be definitely going more in depth because again, I only got to play like I did a best 2 out of 3. My boy ended up winning because he brought out that cheap ass Cecil. I was winning. Then my man breaks out Cecil. I'm like, fuck, I got no answer, But yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, either here in the panel or in the chat, let me know. Dio, I know you're in there, bro. I know you're in there. Hit me with them questions.
Does when you're playing against Cecil, does Donald make a cameo or anything like that?
No, he doesn't. But the Reanimin, that's one of his super moves. Like they all just come out and shit. As a matter of fact, remember that scene where like Mark and Cecil are in that white room, and then like Cecil and then all of them just appear. That's his super move. We're like, oh shit, So that was dope. There was another good question you had for me before. I don't know if you remember it.
I don't remember, but I do have another question.
Go ahead,
So you mentioned these other guys that make Killer Instinct. So
yeah.
What I mean, I guess what game would you say most closely resembles this one? Because when you think about fighting games, it's like like they think about like, oh, is it a Street Fighter type? Is it a Mortal Kombat type? Or what about this one?
Ironically, because you would think Marvel Tokon would be this. No, this one is actually kind of a successor of Marvel vs. Capcom. It really is.
Oh.
The tagging feels exactly the same. Like, like for example, you could be doing your combo and you just hit the button once and then the other character comes in for a little hit. Or you could just hold the button and then you could switch out. The switching mechanics are exactly like Marvel vs. Capcom. Like one button is for one character, another button is for another character, and they remain the same. So yeah, it's actually equivalent. It's like imagine a slower playing Marvel vs. Capcom. That's the closest one, which surprised me, because you would think the Marvel game would be closer, but the Marvel Tokon does not play anything like a Marvel vs. Capcom game. It plays like a Guilty Gear game for obvious reasons. It plays like Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball. That's what Arc System Work games. But yeah, Carlos, this is Marvel vs. Capcom, which is very surprising.
And it's a good thing because people.
Yeah.
I know some folks were when they saw Tokon, they were like, this isn't really like Marvel vs. Capcom, which is kind of like the initial thoughts that they wanted when they saw the reveal. So it's good that at least we're getting it from somewhere.
Yeah. No, if you want a successor to Marvel vs. Capcom, I think Invincible is it. Because again, I went into that frame of mind and it worked out perfectly. I'm like, let me just do Marvel vs. Capcom shit, and it worked. So pretty good stuff there. Rich, you got anything you wanted to say about Invincible?
Oh, I was just going to ask the question about the closed beta, but it sounds as like that's going to happen very soon.
Oh yeah. And that kind of lets me know that the game's probably going to be coming out pretty soon. By the way, there's also a beta running for 2XKO, I believe. So kind of interesting that all these tag fighters are all coming out at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen YouTube ads for this for that other game. I'm like, oh, so I didn't even know it was out. But yeah, it's free. It's free to try out now. The X2KO game.
Yeah. Coel, I'm not going to read that comic because that is a spoiler for the show. But I respect you for reading the comics, but you chill with that. So yeah, Invincible, dope. Logic Wins wants to know what I think of Lego Batman. So yeah, Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, I believe it's called, right? I went into this almost blind. Like I talked about last week. I'm like, I'm gonna check out the new Lego Batman game. All I knew was it's a new Lego Batman game. I didn't know shit. Right before I went to my appointment, I told some of the fellas in the office, and they got hyped. Like, oh, Joe, it's fucking dope. I'm like, oh, what's so hype about it? And they're like, yo, this shit looks like Arkham, but in Lego world. I'm saying, like, oh, that's cool. Like, oh, it has a bunch of references to all the movies and comics. Like, that's pretty cool. So I went in there kind of with high expectations. They didn't lead me astray, and I'm already started writing this. This is the Batman Arkham game I wasn't expecting. It gives me that feel. It's like, obviously it's a Lego game, it's kiddie and shit, but like the open world feels really good. I like the mission structure. The graphics look really nice. Like you can see all the like detail in Batman's cape and shit, which is interesting because like he's made of Legos, he's plastic, but his cape is like cloth and shit. But yeah, and I read like a quick interview with the developers, and they said it's like, hey, Rocksteady, we love those guys, we love these games, so we want to kind of pay homage to that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It really does feel like Lego Arkham City. But the cool thing is like the references in there, right? Like the mission I played, because basically the game has you playing through all of Batman's like career from the beginning to the current, right? Actually, I think somebody said end. I'm like, oh, are we gonna get like old ass Batman from the Dark Knight, the comic book, the Frank Miller one? That'd be crazy, like, imagine that shit. They should get fucking Michael Ironside to do that voice like he did in the cartoon, Remember that scene where he's fighting the fucking mutant in the mud? Because basically the mutant was fucking him up because Batman's old. So he starts fighting him in the mud till they're even. And then Batman's like, you don't understand. Like, this is an operating table. Cracks his fucking leg, and I'm the surgeon. I'm like, yes, let's go. It's great, man. So the mission I played was I had to stop the Red Hood, right? And if you read, the Killing Joke, where this is. You know who the Red Hood is. Because you may think like, oh, it's like current Red Hood. No, it's that Red Hood. And here's the fun thing. Because remember, Carlos, even though this is like Lego-fied, they're still throwing little lines at you. Like there's one time where Red Hood is talking to you, and he's like they don't understand. It was never about the money. I'm like, ooh, that's a nice little reference there, And then later on, when he's hanging over the vat, the chemicals and shit. He's like, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Like, oh, that's cool. Damn. So it's like you get the Nolan shit, the Keaton shit. And then the comic book stuff too. It's fun, man. It's fun. I was surprised. I had no idea what I was in for. I was like, okay, Lego Batman. I play Batman games. I play Lego games. So good stuff. Right now, they just said 2026, but definitely keep your eye on that. That's the game I'll definitely play over Ghost of Yotei for sure. It made me feel good. And also you could, I don't know how many players total, but in the demo, I was able to switch between Batman and Jim Gordon on the fly. Just press down on the D-pad. And they each have their different skills. Like Batman's weapons were like a batarang, obviously a batarang, and like a grapple, right? With the batarang, you could throw at enemies, and with the grapple, you could kind of pull on objects and shit. And Jim Gordon had like one gun that's kind of like a little pop gun. He's not going to be shooting dudes, obviously. Another one's like a foam gun, and the foam gun is cool because like there's sections where there's like pipes are spewing fire, and you throw like foam at them, and it puts the fire out. Or if there's enemies that have like shields, you could like throw the foam at them, and you can make it easier to hit them. So it's kind of cool doing back and forth stuff. And you still got your typical Lego shit, like you build like bridges and stuff like that. And I don't know how many characters the game's gonna have, because that's the other thing about Lego games. You get a fuck ton of characters. you know. But I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's cool. It's like you're gonna get to play the whole like arc of Batman, but like in Lego form, you know. It's good stuff, man. So look forward to that. What's Dio saying here? They're adding scenes from certain Batman films in the game, as well as you'll be reliving some film scenes. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I saw, because they had me watch a little trailer beforehand, and there was a scene from Batman Begins where, you know, Bruce Wayne is training with the ninjas and shit, you know. So there's that. So that's what I played. I played, it's like 10 minutes in the open world, just fucking around, stopping random crimes. Got to drive the Batmobile, you know. And the Batmobile I drove was, where was it from? It wasn't the Adam West one, but I think it's from one of the more recent comics. It looks just really old and dingy and shit. I really enjoyed that. But there's like 3 different Batmobiles. I don't know if that's the limit. The reason I'm saying 3 is because they're gonna have like toys obviously associated with them, and they're debuting them at Comic-Con, so you could get those Batmobiles. Again, I'm surprised I'm saying this much about a fucking Lego Batman game, but it's fucking hype, you know. You guys got any more questions about that one?
I got a question for Rich.
Why is
Richard?
Yes, sir.
Is this something that you're interested in? I'm curious.
1000% yes.
Nice.
Quite honestly, it was the only good trailer that I saw at the what did they show it at Gamescom? That was one of the very few games I saw. Okay, yeah, this looks pretty good. I'll check this out. But yeah, I definitely will check this out.
Yeah, no, definitely go check it out.
I mean, what you're saying, Tony, that it's selling me on this game.
Again, I sold myself on it. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? This is better than I expected. Like, I think this is a game everybody could enjoy, you know? Have you played the Lego games before?
No. I mean, I kind of know about, I know like about them because they're kind of over-encompassing of the franchises that they sort of hit on. So I know that aspect. So that's kind of what, you know, makes it interesting with this one. I mean, having different types of Batmans in it, I don't know if it would be best to have just various stories, but what you're saying, it's hitting. So
yeah,
might be something I'm gonna keep my eye on for.
I think so. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. But again, it's not a serious game. It's not dark at all. It's silly, you know. But lots of fun. You know, it's funny because go ahead.
It's not a serious game. It's a standalone game.
Yeah, there you go. What was I gonna say? But yeah, no, it's good stuff. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It's one of those things where, like, you know, your initial impression of something sticks with you, even if that thing is no longer done in a series. Even though I've been playing quote unquote newer Lego games for years now, but I still can't get over the fact that they have voices. Because the original ones weren't voices; it was just like mumble shit, you know. You know, it was around like I want to say probably 2010-ish where they started talking. So it's been 15 years already, and I'm still like, wait a minute, you know? Because back in the early 2000s, those motherfuckers were just like Charlie Brown, you know, just mumbling shit, you know. So it's still weird. It's like, wait, Batman, you talking? You're like, what is this, you know? Yeah, those games are fun. The ones I remember, the first ones I played were Lego Star Wars trilogy. It wasn't even all 6, it was just a trilogy. Indiana Jones trilogy, because you know this is before the fucking Crystal Skull shit, you know. Those were fun, and there was a couple others I played around there. There was a DC one I liked. But yeah, those games are generally fun, you know. So yeah, but this one, it's like, it's good stuff. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I will definitely have a full review for that whenever it comes out. You know,
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. And like I said, there is another game I got to check out, but I cannot talk about that for a while. But stay tuned. You know, I can't even tell you if I liked it or not. It's just I played another game. That's all you're getting from me. You know. All right. I think. Is there any other gaming things that happened this week? Because this week I was busy with fucking Prime Day shit, so I may have missed something. But you know, I think the guys in the chat room got to be covered. So I just picked all these stories from them. You know, so I think we should be good.
Yeah.
But let me know if I'm wrong.
We covered most of it. The other there's only one big news that wasn't covered was
Oh,
the fact that I was today years old where I learned that it was called .emu instead of Dotemu.
yeah, I'm still fucked up by that. You know.
I can't believe it, man. It's like finding out Santa Claus wasn't real. It's at that level.
By the way, this is not gaming related. They re-released Perfect Blue. I went to see a screening of it last week, right before Throwdown, right? Come to find out that the movie has done very, very well. You know,
Really?
hasn't done Demon Hunter well. Don't get me wrong, but
no.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
fucking Demon Hunter made more money than fucking Marvel movies, bro. You know,
Yeah,
Demon Slayer.
It's a Demon Hunter, Demon Slayer. I'm not familiar with this
Demon
show.
Slayer.
Okay, yeah.
It is Demon Slayer. I have to say I was very surprised to see that. It's in all the AMC theaters.
Uh-oh.
Did he cut out on you too? Oh shit.
Yep.
Every show was sold out when that first week. It's
Hold
like,
on, Rich. You have to repeat
that's
the
awesome.
last 30 seconds you said because you cut off.
Oh, sorry. No, I was saying, I was surprised to see that because here at the AMC theaters, all the shows were sold out opening week, and this was in the Dolby Cinema theater as well. So, yeah. So I'm happy to see it, and of course I know they dropped the game in August as well, so that was the perfect timing, to also have that movie coming out shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
I went to go see that movie. It's great. But for some reason, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like one of those, am I getting older? But it was a little loud. I was like, damn.
Like, damn, man, turn that shit down, man.
Yeah, put that shit on 25.
Fuck. That's funny, man. But yeah, like clockwork, whenever they re-release like a classic movie, that 4K is right around the corner. And just today, they announced the Perfect Blue 4K. So you already know.
Oh, yeah, I might cop that. I have the other Blu-ray, so
Yeah. Fun fact: Perfect Blue was one of the first DVDs I ever bought. You know, and like I'm not exaggerating. I bought a DVD player, very expensive back then. It was like $400 back then, which is the reason I never used my PlayStation 2 as a DVD player. I'm like, no, I'm using this shit. I paid too much money for it, you know. And I was like, I need some movies, so I bought. So the first 3 movies I bought were Perfect Blue, not in order, by the way. Perfect Blue, Gladiator, and The Matrix. Those were the first
me
3.
too.
Yeah, you already know.
Did you buy the one, the Matrix? It was a Matrix DVD that had the little black thing on the edge that opened up.
Pop it up. Yep. That's the one I had. Yep, I had that. Yeah. Gladiator, you know how that Gladiator, man. Fuck. What a great movie.
Oh man. Remember back in the day, DVDs were like super high quality. It was like, damn, this shit looks crazy.
You got the full package, like director's commentary, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I remember in the Gladiator director's commentary, Ridley Scott, like they're showing a scene of like the stance, and he's like, look at the guy up there. He's not even paying attention. I wanted to go up there and slap the shit out of him. Because like something crazy happened in the stance, and everybody's like, and this one guy's just like that or something. He's like, I wanted to run up there and slap him, you know? And there was one, I forgot, it was some Paul Verhoeven movie, probably Starship Troopers, where he screamed so loud my speaker started crackling. You know, I think he was like reenacting like a bug sound or something. Paul Verhoeven is crazy, you know? Yeah, no, don't go watch Gladiator 2. Leave that shit alone, bro. You know, leave good
people not like
alone.
that one?
No, it got like mixed reception, but I think the people who liked it were just like people who were coping. That's my opinion. You know, I'm like, nah, you're good, man. The first one is classic. You know, leave it alone. My first was, what the fuck? Can I even say that? No, cool. I'm not reading. What the fuck did you say, bro? I'm not reading that. That sounds dirty. I'm not reading that. It sounds not only dirty, but also sounds blasphemous. I don't want to upset our Christian friends. You know? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not reading that. You're crazy. I like you, man, but you're crazy. You know, I own that on DVD too. Old School. That's my movie.
Yeah.
My Boy Blue. Oh, yo, remember those comedies in like the late 2000s? They were fucking great. You know.
Oh yeah.
Will Ferrell was in every one of them.
Will Ferrell was in every one of them, and then what's his name? Freaking
Vince Vaughn.
He's the voice. No, he's the voice. He's in Invincible. He's one of the voices. He's the Seth Rogen.
Oh, Seth Rogen. Yeah, he was in everything too. You know,
he was in everything. Yeah,
Super Troopers.
2000s.
Yeah, Super Troopers is funny, man. Yeah, Super Troopers and Office Space. Remember that? You know. Yeah, we're gonna have to downsize you. Why?
Oh yeah, QL. Yeah, Stigmata. Remember that?
I do remember Stigmata. Oh, okay, that's the movie you're talking about. Yeah, the shit of the shit. We were like, yo, it's like that sounds like dirty and blasphemous. His description of that. You know. I'm not even religious. How about like, yo, bro, you better chill with that shit.
That was a controversial movie.
It was. I do remember that. Yeah. Did I see Stigmata? I may have. You know, back in the day when movies cost $5, I'm like, fuck it, I'll go see it. You know. I still need to see Hot Tub Time Machine. That was a funny one. Pineapple Express was also a funny one. That was a good era for comedies, man. You know.
Yeah, that was Superbad.
Superbad was hilarious, man. Napoleon Dynamite was pretty. It's not as funny as other people think, but it was funny. You know.
But I appreciate it because the humor was like it's
very
different.
Yeah. Like it's
the Norm Macdonald of comedy movies.
Shout out to Norm Macdonald, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine. You already know. Reggie, you said something about Halo. Did something with Halo happen this week? I'm not sure if it did or not.
Oh, it's in Netflix now.
Oh, who cares? You know.
Yeah.
Primitive War was awesome. I'm not familiar with that.
I remember Blair Witch controversy with that. People were going crazy.
I remember that. I saw Blair Witch. I'm like, this movie's stupid, you know. Yeah. But I'm not a ghost guy, you know. Like anything with a ghost, unless it's like cool ghosts, like Poltergeist or Ghostbusters, you know. I saw this one fucking ghost movie with Nicole Kidman. I was bored out of my fucking mind, man. Came out around that time, mid 2000s. We went to see it in the theater too. I was like, "Yo, what did you drag me to see, bro?" You know. But back then, the ticket was like $3. Who cares, right? You see a shitty movie, who gives a fuck? What Jurassic Park was violent? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Oh, Primitive War. So it's a new movie. I think it's like dudes from the Vietnam War fighting dinosaurs. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. All right, man. I start wrapping this up. Rich was coming up on the Coalition this weekend, man.
Yeah, so first and foremost, let's give a shout out to Mr. Adam Vale and the TV Terminal. I believe they are still covering they're covering so many shows. So
they're covering every show.
Yeah, they're covering so many shows, so I definitely would encourage everybody to check out the YouTube channel, and we will also be posting some of those shows on the website, thecoalition.com. As for Adam, Carlos, and myself, we will be recording the next episode of the I Am Negan podcast for the Daryl Dixon Show. That will be going up sometime on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Going to the gaming side of things, I did a review for that game Absalom, which is Emu's new beat 'em up game, but there's a twist to it because it has roguelike stuff in it. Now I know Tony, you do not like the roguelike stuff. So,
I do not.
Yeah,
I don't like the roguelike.
No. Hey, listen, I fully understand that, but I will say this: that game is awesome. Definitely check out my review on the Coalition Gaming as well as the website. If you do get a chance to check out the game, let me know in the comments what you think about the game. But the game has an excellent art style. they're actually making it into an animated TV series as well. So they're going all in on this. This is their original IP. So I'm curious to see where they go with this. But check out that review. Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead. I'll go after you finish.
Oh no, and I was going to say, yeah, there are plenty of other things that I'm working on. Some stuff that some more previews, some more reviews that are coming. Like I said, it's a busy time of the year. Certain stuff I can't talk about, other stuff that I've mentioned in the past. But stay tuned because you'll see a lot of stuff coming out here, I want to say, over the next week or so. But stay tuned.
Good stuff.
I like how in the coalition videos that you've been posting recently, they has the new intro is like thecoalition.com.
Yeah, and I will give a shout out to Mr. Kennedy. He is the one that put together, because initially when we had those videos in the past, he is the one that had put that stuff together. So I'm glad that we were able to bring that back.
Nice.
That's what's up. Yeah, Reggie, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was talking about how I got to hang out a little bit with our mutual friend, Mr. Hip Hop Gamer. You know, good times there. Lots of hugs, lots of yelling. Good stuff. So right now, Manny is at New York Comic Con doing his thing. So if you're there, make sure you go to Artist Alley, and he's at table L32. Matter of fact, and I just checked his Twitter right now, which is obviously where I'm getting this info from. He posted a video of how to get to his table, which is very helpful. Not only did he post that, he showed you how to get to his table, but then also how to find the voice actors of Metal Gear. So basically, he shows him grabbing his drawings of Metal Gear characters and where their actors are. It's like right around the corner. It's pretty cool. So he says it's Cam Clark, Tasia Valenza, David Hayter, Christopher, I don't know who that is, and Jennifer Hale. So pretty cool. Who's this last guy? Let's see. He's putting shit on their table. So this video is funny, man. So yeah, go check out Manny at Artist Alley, table L32. And on Saturday, I will be running around Comic-Con as well. And I'm going to purposely hang out at Manny's table like between 3 and 4 o'clock. So if you want to come meet me, IRL, either meet me for the first time or just catch up, I'm going to be there. But generally, I'll be, around the show for a little bit. I move pretty fast, so you're not going to catch me. That's why I'm like, let me stay in one spot. Yeah, Dio, man, what's up, bro? I'll be there Saturday. That's gonna be my one and only day. Because I've been to Comic Cons forever. I don't know when the first one was. I believe it was 2004, and I've been going to these ever since. I think I've only missed 2 in that entire time. The first time I missed one, I think it was 2007, is because I was literally in a fucking hospital. I was hospitalized. I had some stomach shit, and I was too fucked up. And then I didn't go last year. I had a protest because Manny wasn't accepted. I'm like, Manny's not going? I'm not going. Fuck that. But Manny's back, so I'm back. Yo, and I already ran into some of I call them Comic-Con journalist buddies at this show tonight at Invincible. Because these are dudes that, like I said, I only meet them one time a year, at Comic-Con. And we literally just pick up conversation where we left off, It's hilarious. Dio only got Friday. That's a shame, man. Yeah, I can't do Friday. I can only do Saturday. But yeah, for those who are attending, go check out Manny, table L32 at Artist Alley. And again, go to his Twitter at emanland, and he has a very handy video. Like he shows you when you enter the Javits, how to get to his spot, which is pretty convenient because the way I got to get to him is very convoluted, from where I'm coming in. But all good.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
I'm watching the video Manny posted. This shit is super detailed.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is great.
Yeah, Manny goes in.
Manny went in.
So good stuff there. All right, man, I start wrapping it up. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. And obviously, hit like, subscribe, all that good jazz. It does help. Leave comments, I'm going to try to get into the habit of actually commenting back. I generally don't do that, but can't hurt, And join the Discord. And shout out to the Discord gang for all the stories. I literally got home tonight. after Invincible, went on Discord, went to Monday. This is what I always do. Open up Discord, on Thursday night, right? See whatever the date was for Monday, scroll there, and then go down the line, and just pick a bunch of stories and then curate it from there. So shout out to you guys. This show would not be possible without you, And obviously, we're on every podcast app. So wherever you're listening to us from, Spotify, fucking Amazon, Apple, all that good jazz, we are there. So make sure you hit us up. And for everything else, links are below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight, I was joined by Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
And Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right, guys, you already know. We'll be back on Sunday. Later.